Alrighty, guys. It's our second day. Alright, so we are back for the Autism Awareness event, and we're going to continue working in my journal. Okay, let me get myself shared out here. And up after me is Miss Glenna. So definitely stick around to see what she is going to be creating. And there's Miss Amy. Hey there. Hello, hello. I didn't realize both of us were going to be going on twice today. But sometimes that is what ends up happening, right? When we run events and stuff. Alright, so welcome back. Hey there, Miss Glenna. Thank you for sprinkling. Miss Glenna will be up after me, so make sure you guys stick around to see what she's going to be doing. And yes, so I know you were asking earlier. This is this one that I use particularly is automotive refinish masking tape. But regular masking tape works. The reason why I have this one is because this one was one that my bonus kiddo brought home for work for me, because I'd run out of my stuff, and I still have some. So, but that is what I use. It is strong, it is durable, it gives you flexibility. You can also use paper tape as well, but I'm getting to where I really actually like the masking tape. I feel it's a little more sturdier, so especially for things that are really heavy like this, it works great. Alright, I'm gonna turn you guys down. So we're at the stage where we need to get paper on our book, and I am really thinking I want to do the stripes. So I think that's what we're gonna go with. Hello there, Miss Elizabeth. Hello there, Miss Michelle. Welcome, welcome, friends. Thank you so very much for being here. I do truly appreciate it. Thank you for the sprinkles, and all of you guys is just coming to hang out. I really, really do appreciate that a whole lot. And hopefully my glue will work with us today. Hopefully. Because, you know, it's been doing its thing lately. And it works when it wants to. So. So how's everybody doing? I was not planning on going live again, but things, yeah, exactly, that's what I'm saying. Things happen, and when we're running an event, sometimes we just have to hop on. So I get it. Is your comments working now? It's frustrating trying to read the comments on the phone we're using to go live. So I don't use my phone to go live with. I use my computer and the cameras. So my phone is what I read off of. A lot of times people use their they have like an iPad or something of that nature, but yeah, I use for me, I use my computer to go live. I'm glad that you're doing well, my friend. That is awesome. And you need to stay right there. So we're gonna start by putting our paper that needs to go right here. But yeah, like I said, it can be very frustrating at times. But that is the world of technology, right? That is just the world that we live in, sadly. We rely on technology for so much. I am going to... Hello there, Miss Brandy. Welcome, welcome. I hope that you are doing well today. And then while this kind of dries for us to be able to cut it, because we need it to dry well, I'm going to start trimming our papers down. So what has everybody been able to stay tuned, or what have you guys been doing for your Monday? Now this is a digital kit that I got on Etsy. And it's kind of more of like an inspirational type, and I thought that would be really good. So, plus I love the colors and everything else. Not much really. I mean, that's a good thing, right? It's good to have days where we don't do a whole lot. At least I think so. Tomorrow will be a busy day. Oh, gotcha. Well, we shall see how busy tomorrow I get. I say that like I don't have anything to do, but I do have stuff I need to do. Even though I'm not going out, I do have things that I need to do. Okay, and then these are like little pockets and fussy cuts and stuff, so we're gonna do that a little bit. So this is like a lot of like positive reaffirmation, you know, like you are enough, strength from within, love, breathe, shine. You are enough, trust the journey, choose joy, believe in yourself, you are loved, positive vibes. So a lot of like positive reaffirmation. And truthfully, you know, whether you are somebody on the spectrum or not, we all need positive reaffirmation. So I thought that was going to be a good little set. So we shall see. We shall see what the day will hold for us tomorrow. I do know that I'm helping to fill in a spot in Miss Wendy's event tomorrow. So I'll be on really early for me at 1 p.m. Eastern. That's like super early. But she needed somebody, so I told her I could help fill in. I have no clue yet what I'm gonna do, but it'll be something. Thank you, dear. I appreciate the like and the follow. I hope that you like what you see. There's a lot of paper craft that happens here because I love working with paper. And journals are just so much fun to work with. So, but I don't know. I do know that I need to start on making a baby album. So, heck, I gotta make two because my best friend and my sister are both pregnant. But my friend is having her baby shower in May, and I want to gift her a nice album. So we shall see. I need to start working on that. You're on at 3? Yeah. I mean, you know, you try to help. Like I told her, I was like, look, if I can help, I'll help. I'll try my best. I may still be half asleep, but I'll definitely try my best. If I go to bed at a decent hour, it won't be that bad. But, knowing me, that's not likely to happen. So, I may be a little groggy. But it'll be okay. It will be a-okay. Yeah, we're normally on in the evenings. Miss Amy, usually not as late as me, but you're usually on at night. I'm definitely a night owl. My body follows the circadian rhythm. And so, and it's really hard because the doctors look at you like, you need to sleep. And I'm like, but my body doesn't want to sleep. My sleep doctor was like, why do you go to bed at 3 in the morning? I'm like, 'cause. And why do you only sleep so many hours? I was like, because for the rest of the world, they want me up and functioning, you know, around 10, 9, 10 o'clock in the morning. So, well, you need to go to bed earlier. Yeah, well, I'm actually awake and functioning and have brain cells after 10. So that's normally when I do my stuff. And my brain won't shut off for me to go to sleep. But they don't get that. You know, my dad always said that I was a sleepyhead as a kid because I wanted to sleep during the day. I was fine at night, and I'd be up late. But try to get me up in the morning to function, that was not gonna happen. I mean, it was a struggle for me to get up to go to school. Like, literally, my dad would wake me up with water. He'd come and splash water in my face. He got real mean sometimes when I didn't want to get, when I was like, and just rolled over. And he'd go get a cube of ice and put it down my shirt. And I was, ugh. Needless to say, that made me mad. You know what's crazy is that my therapist understands me, but not my other doctors. They all want you to sleep so many hours. And like, don't get me wrong, this weekend, for whatever reason, like my CPAP clocked me in at sleeping for 11 hours, which is like insane. Because what they complain about is that I normally only sleep about 4 hours. And my daughter was like, well, Mama, are you okay? Do you feel rested? I'm like, nope, I'm still tired. But my body, I don't know, I decided it needed to sleep. And it'll do that every so often. Even Gary's gotten used to that. He says that every so often my body will just go like, whoop, and sleep like for a whole day, and then I'm back to just running on 4 hours. I've done it most of my life. So yeah, kind of crazy. But you know, the voices in my head, my brain just will not stop talking. And it has all these ideas, it has all these massive creative ideas that are constantly floating around in my head, and it just will not stop. And if I try to lay down, like at a decent time, like around 9 or 10 or so, yeah, that's not good. Oh no, my dad did, because my dad was very impatient, and my dad was a morning person. So we struggled. We struggled because I made him late all the time. I made my brother late to school because I wouldn't get up in time. Yet I was never the one that took, you know, an hour shower like my brother did. I was in and out. The longest I took was when I was washing my hair. Like, I learned to get ready quick when I finally got myself up. And still to this day, I'm like, boom, boom, boom. Like, I do not understand. I do not understand these kids that take forever. And like my daughter, oh my gosh, the other day she was in the shower and I was waiting for her, and I'm like, Caroline, I've watched 3 episodes of my cooking show. How much longer are you gonna be in the shower? I want to eat. I'm like, I am so not used to that. Because I guess since I want to get every last ounce of sleep that I can, I've learned that, okay, well, if you want to sleep in that extra 10 minutes, you know, you have to then get ready faster. because you don't have time to, you know, which luckily for me, I've never done like makeup or anything like that, and my hair's usually always been up in a ponytail or up in a bun or something really, you know, quick. Brush my hair, put it up, wash my face, brush my teeth, get dressed, let's go. Like, I've never took along in that aspect. In that aspect, I was never a girly girl. I never did the whole makeup and all that kind of stuff, so you totally get it. I know, I'm like, what is up with that? You know, my brother was the same way. My brother would take forever in the freaking shower. And I would get in the shower, not because I was gonna take long, was because if not, then he'd leave me no dang on hot water. Because he'd take so darn long in the shower. I was the only reason why I would try to jump in the shower before he did. Now, don't get me wrong, my daughter loves her sleep too. So she learned early to take her showers at night so that she could sleep that extra, you know, in the morning. Because I would be like, girl, I ain't waiting on you. I was like, I ain't got time, you gotta go to school, let's go, let's go. You know? And because I'm used to that, okay, you get up, you're rolling. But again, that's because I gave myself that extra time to sleep. Okay, so we're just gonna fold our pages in half, and we're gonna get these sewn in. We'll put them in an order here in a second. I just want to get them all folded. Like, even my boys, I'm like, y'all, you're a dude. Like I get it when they wore their hair long. I was like, okay, you need some extra time because you got all that hair in you. I get it. But still, it's like, y'all are dudes. What in the world? Why are y'all taking so darn long? Of course, my son learned real quick when he went to the military. You can't do that. No, you can't be taking your sweet time in the shower. I like this one. Look. Dream, believe, inspire, hope, love, create, heal, shine. I really do like that. I love all the colors from this printable set. It's actually really cute. And like I said, I thought it'd be perfect for this. And I did print these at half sheet size because our journal is smaller than I would regularly make it. Because normally you take your 8.5 by 11s and you take those down, but giving these some fancy edges to the ones that I had way too much white on them. Then of course I'm over here trying to get the printer settings and stuff to work for me. My daughter comes in. Mom, thought you were making me a snack. My child, I'm trying to do something here. Hello there, Miss Trudy. How are you? Welcome. Yes, hello again. How are you, friend? Hopefully you've had a wonderful evening. What y'all end up having for dinner? I ended up having a bowl of cereal, y'all. Shredded mini wheats for the win, y'all. My daughter had ramen with some salmon that we had left over from the other day. Actually, no. I prefer to print on, this is resume paper that I get from the thrift store. And I prefer that because it's more of a linen paper. So I have flexibility, but I have strength. I know these prints are gorgeous, aren't they? I definitely cannot take no credit. These are straight off of, let's see. Thank you for the sprinkles, Miss Bonnie. I appreciate it. But yeah, I love printing on the resume paper because it does have more of a stronger, because it does have like linen fibers in here. So it withstands the sewing really well. I kind of get away from cardstock because, I mean, I still do it. I do technically prefer it for like some of the embellishment stuff, but the thing about cardstock is if you manipulate it too much, sometimes it goes to cracking. And I guess I'm very heavy-handed because mine would crack a lot, and that would be very frustrating. Alright, so let's see, how are we going to put these together? I want that one to be like the first page. Strength from within, enjoy the little things, self-reflection. Like I said, I really like this one, so I want this one. Well, actually, I might need to put this one outward then. Here. Stay positive. Let's put that one out front like that. Yeah, that'll work. Okay. Let's get this trimmed down. No, ma'am, I did not create these printables. I resorted to looking on Etsy this go around because I was like, I really don't have the time to try to create any printables, so I did not this time. Sometimes I do, but not this time. I still need Miss Amy to give me a tutorial on how to use the templates from Creative Fabrica. 'Cause I'm still not understanding how to use those. I am very much a dork because I am not understanding. Let's see. Now that I've done that, I can see that this did not stick, so I'm going to have to add some glue to that. If anybody would like the link to these printables, you can just send me a message and I will gladly share that with you. Because they are very pretty. Maybe someday I will be cool like Miss Amy and be able to create a lot of my own stuff. She is a very, very talented lady. Alright, so see how pretty that looks with our little awareness ribbon that we made out of our punch. Okay, and then the inside, since I don't have enough of this one, we're going to use this paper here. We overestimate you. What do you mean? You are awesome, girl. I mean, I understand the whole concept of the templates is that once you've got like the clip art or whatever, you can put it in and it adjusts to the template and stuff. I understand that much. But you still gotta put the stuff together, so how are we underestimating you? You're a smart cookie. Thank you, Miss Elizabeth. I appreciate it. You know, the biggest thing is that there's a lot of like prompts for you to follow along, and I think that's the whole idea. Is I want whoever ends up wanting this journal that they can use it, you know, yes, to let their creativity out, but also to remember that, you know, that which makes you different is also what makes you unique and wonderful and special. And so many times we forget. And I don't want people to forget that. I know I definitely have to do some trimming on this paper here, but it'll be alright. And then I'm gonna end up taking some of the striped, and I'm gonna put a little piece here at the end on both sides to finish covering up the ends. But for right now, since we have this already down, now I can go ahead and at least get my signature sewn in. And she is smaller than the actual journal itself, but that's okay. I'm okay with it. Gonna see if maybe I had any papers I wanted to add, but no, it'll be fine. Now let me grab my owl right quick. And I know that you guys saw Miss Amy using this earlier, and we're going to use it too. So I am going to end up making it a 2 signature. I'm going to let this small one be the first signature, and then the second one I'm just going to put in blank paper, probably like ruled paper, so that if you want to make notes or anything of that nature, you can. So let's figure out where we're going to make our holes. First and foremost, that is important. Or maybe I'm just gonna do the one. I don't know yet. So 1, 2, 3. Let's go down here. 2, 3 will come up. Alright, now to measure where this one's gonna fall, we'll need to go here. Go there. There. And that one. Just to make sure that my holes went all the way through. So I do have it for 2 signatures. I will add some, like I said, some larger papers, probably some plain and some lined papers, so that this can really be, you know, a prompted like writing journal for someone. And I know that that's the thing, that there's like different types of journals out there. So there's a journal for every kind of journaler. What did I do with my... One, two, three. So y'all stay tuned, because up after me is Miss Glenna. She will be finishing out this awesome event today. If you did miss any of today's presenters, please go back and watch. You can watch everybody in the free group, and that way you are able to see anybody you may have missed, because you definitely don't want to miss out. You make sure we're doing this on the right side of things. So unlike sewing, we do not tie the ends, but you do want to keep a good little bit left over here so that you can tie. And then we just go up and through. And sometimes pages like to move on you, so you might have to wiggle through and see where they decided to no longer be in place, and coerce them to work with you. Because you know that does happen. And no stress. No need to stress about it. You just make it work with you. And it's usually when you're coming up that tends to happen, right? Let's see, here I go again. Some of these pages seem like they need a little help reminding them where they're supposed to be. It's like you're supposed to be right there. And then you pull in the opposite direction so that you're tightening here in the back. Okay. And yeah, you might be like, well, I got a lot left over. Well, it's better to have a lot left over than not enough. Okay. That's all I must say. It's better to have a lot left over than not enough. And I just put those through to kind of help tighten them, and then now we're just going to knot these together. And you're going to want to do them as tight as you can. once you are done with your knot, you can cut off your excess. The amount of little pieces of string that I have is crazy. Alright, so here is the first. And these do, because I only printed them one-sided, there is still plenty of space for you to do spreads on here. But I want to add the lined and white paper just because I feel like this should be really like let your art through. So that's why I went ahead and I didn't do it on the middle, but I went ahead and added a second row of to tie in a second signature. Okay, so that way that's what that'll be. And I absolutely love, so I'll be adding all of these like little pockets in here to all these different areas, the little side tucks, all the things, right? So find the joy in the little things. You can obviously score these and make them 100% neater. Thank you so much, Miss Brandy. I'm glad that you like it. But I really want this to be a type of like expressional journal, which is the whole reason why I want to add in extra space for you to, you know, color on, draw on, whatever you want to do. Let me see if I have for the page, where's the page? Where's the page that says find, join the little things, and we'll put this in the up here. And that way you can tuck things in here. So we're gonna do that. Since we have a little bit of time still, we're gonna add a few of these embellishments. So find, join the little things. Maybe there's, you know, your favorite candy wrapper. Something that, you know, makes you feel good when you have it. You can tuck it in there, right? Just like a little pocket for that. Follow your dreams was the other one. We should always be following our dreams. You know, sometimes the world gives us like little curves, roundabouts in the path of following our dreams, but never stop. Just also try not to get into the rut of being stuck in that roundabout, going around and around and around. That's the only thing, is making sure that you don't do that, because you know, we get stuck in routines and, you know, things like my hubby tells me, he's like, I feel like all I do is work. You know, for a lot of people that sentiment is true, and you feel like you've not done anything productive or positive. So then of course, you know, what can you do to change that? And we did have a few little tucks, so I'm gonna add those as well. And then there's a bunch of like little you know, like love, breathe, shine, just different things to kind of help remind us. And they're just essentially small snippets of what's already in here. but we can still use those to decorate pages. So like right here we can put be kind to yourself. That should always be the first thing that we do, is always be kind to yourself. You know, when they say, when we hear the saying, we are our worst critics, it is true. We are. We are so harsh on ourselves. We don't give ourselves enough credit. We always, especially for us women, we tend to always downplay what we bring to, you know, relationship, to work, to, you know, the household, whatever. We tend to downplay it, and we shouldn't, because everything that we do is important and necessary, you know? And allow yourself to make mistakes. If you are a mother, aunt, grandparent, caregiver of any form or fashion, and you feel like you have done, you know, not done enough for a child or an adult with autism, be kind to yourself, because it's not something that we are born knowing what to do or how to handle. So be kind to yourself. You're trying your best. And it takes a lot of love and patience. So thank you so very much, Miss Amy, for having me. I'm glad I was able to participate and just be a part of today's event. Please go and see Miss Glenna. She should be on, and I will see everybody later. Thank you guys. Remember that you are loved, you are precious, and I am so grateful for you guys for being here. So thank you so very much. I do thank you, thank you, thank you, and I will get this nice and finished. My pleasure.